All right, my boy, my guy, King Sounds drops King Talk, the deluxe edition, on all digital platforms, right here on YouTube, Spotify, and also on Apple Music. The link's in the description. Go ahead and check it out. All right, man. Kevin Durant basically gives up the throne. According to Kendrick Perkins, he's the greatest scorer in NBA history. He gives up the throne to Michael Jordan as being the greatest scorer in NBA history. Let's talk about it real quick. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. And, I mean, at the end of the day, if you want to be technical, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is the greatest scorer of all time, okay? He got the most points scored. Now, Wilt Chamberlain, you can make a case for him being the greatest scorer of all time. He scored 100 points. Michael Jordan never scored 81 points. Devin Booker scored 72 points. But if we're talking about giving a broader definition of scoring, let's talk about it. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. So, you know, you're talking about scores. It's different scores. You got guys that can shoot. You got guys who can catch and shoot. You got guys that can create for their own and score. You got guys that's mid-range assassins. You got the dinosaurs. They are now known as dinosaurs. You got the post scorers. I mean, you got this different type of variety of scores. And damn near it's hard. And also you got the clutch scores, you know. So it's hard to get that in one person. And when you look at guys like Michael Jordan and Kevin Durant, you know, even though Kevin don't give you as much posts as Michael did, and I think Michael gave more posts later in his career because he couldn't really bounce and blow by guys when he started to slow down. But you look at Kevin Durant, he can score any way you want to. You know, if we told him, and this might be the case with him blowing out his Achilles, you only can score with your back to the rim. Kevin Durant still averaged 30 points just scoring with his back to the rim. Mid-range assassin, he can do it. Face up, blow by you. We don't know if he still can do it, but before the Achilles, he can do it. You're talking about step back, getting to the rim, blowing by people, banging on people, finishing above the rim, finishing below the rim. You're talking about shooting a three-point shot. You're talking about catch and shoot. You're talking about shooting off the dribble. Well, that's him. He's just as effective posting up and scoring in the paint as he is in the mid-range and shoot. Michael Jordan, the only thing with Michael Jordan is, in his era, he didn't have to take so many threes, but he had the ability to make threes. And also Kevin Durant hit some big fucking shots in his career as well, too. So you got to put that in there. And Michael Jordan is damn near the king of hitting clutch shots and winning time. When you talk about the post game, you talking about being able to blow by you, bang on you above the rim, finish above the rim, finish through contact. You know, free throw is scoring. He can shoot free throws just like Kevin Durant. He can shoot the three if you want to. You know, he can hit you with the step back. Michael Jordan can do whatever. He can cross you over. You know, these are two of the most gifted scorers when you talk about, you know, levels of scoring. You talking about multiple ways of scoring. When you look at Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, it was done on the block. But then again, guess what? You don't got to shoot threes to be the highest scoring player in NBA history, because if you play through the post on out, guess what's going to happen? Instead of shooting threes, you're going to get guys in foul trouble. You're going to get three-point plays if you can finish through contact like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. You know, he is the greatest scorer as far as statistically ever. You look at LeBron James. He can score it however you want to score it. Blowing by guys, finishing above the rim, finishing under the rim, finishing through contact. You put a pistol to his head, he can post up, he can turn around. You know, he can shoot the three-pointer. You know, and he can make big shots when they count, you know, sometimes. So, you know, LeBron James is one of the greatest. He is the greatest non-willing scorer of all time. I said it again. LeBron James is the greatest non-willing scorer of all time. What does that mean? He's the greatest scorer that just never really wanted to score. LeBron's whole thing is, if LeBron wanted to go out there and get 80 points, I bet fucking LeBron can get 80 points. LeBron just don't have that killer instinct, and that's okay. If he had killer instinct, LeBron would be the perfect player, bar none. But he don't have it. But if he wanted to go out there, you said, look here, man, you know, we're going to take your family away from you forever. You go out there and get 100 points. You know what? I'm going to say he going to go get 100 points. If you can create an angry LeBron, he can go out there and get buckets. But when you're talking about just the guys that have the clutch shots, the killer instinct, yeah, you're looking at Michael Jordan. Karl Malone was another guy that got to be up there. He's second. But if you're talking about the whole thing, being able to score on every level and catch and shoot, coming off screens, that type of stuff, you know, then you really boil it down to Kevin Durant. You boil it down to Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant. Sheesh Louise, who else we got out there? Jerry West was another guy that really could score. So really, you boil it down to those guys. You know, and you know, at the end of the day, I have no issue with people saying Kevin Durant is the most gifted scorer of all time. I don't have no issue with Kendrick Perkins saying he is the greatest scorer of all time. I have no issue with it. I think Kevin Durant can play in any era and still be effective because back in the day, it was harder to go to the rim because you had 7-footers waiting for you at the rim or you're going to get put down with an elbow or hat. Kevin Durant can stop and pop. So, even if he couldn't finish through contact and when he was weaker, he a problem, man. You just look at all the great scorers. Durant Wagner could have went down as the greatest scorer if he didn't have that illness. People think he got injured, think he had an illness. I forget what it was. His son is the #1 recruit coming out of the sophomore class above Mikey Williams. So, his son must be freaking good. Larry Bird can score. You put some of these Reggie Millers, you put some of them guys in this era, young Ray Allen, who else we can go back? Nate Tiny Archibald. Shit. Really not point guards. Back in the day, point guards is point guards. You put some of these phenomenal scorers, Michael Jordan, Reggie Miller. You put some of these guys, Petrovic, in this era, Peja Stojakovic, Dirk Nowitzki, young in this era. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar probably would have got caught easily. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar would have got. Michael Jordan averaged 40 if he wanted to. Young Jordan might go out there and get you 50 a game because he's going to have 30 free throws. It ain't shit for Jordan to get 20. Older Jordan probably go out there and average 38, 40 points a game because he knew how to win ball games. He knew how to trust his teammates. Had LeBron started his career, how they playing basketball, that Steph Curry kind of created with that run and gun and they eliminated the center. Shit, LeBron James probably already caught Kareem. Well, he would have, if you could drop LeBron James in the 10s, tonight he probably almost damn near caught Kareem. You could drop his career in 10 instead of 04. He would have a better chance at catching Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. But also when you go in there and you put the clutch scoring in there, people don't think about making big shots in big time. Kevin Durant made the biggest shot versus some of you guys' favorite, the guy that was the best player in the world at the time, Kevin Durant. LeBron James, he shot over him. When you look at Michael Jordan, he made some big shots. He missed some, you make some. One missed shot doesn't define your career. Only if you let you define your career. So if you talk about me, who the best scorers of all time, it's hard to say. You got to put Kareem and Karl Malone in there, and that just shows you can accumulate that many points and not take 3-pointers. If you look at Michael Jordan, Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Larry Bird, if he played in this era, Tracy McGrady. If you're talking about individual, like individual season who had a great scoring, Tracy McGrady got to be up there. He almost averaged 40. He could score every way possible. Shoot the rock, mid-range, post-game. Tracy McGrady, man. Some people had him above Kobe at one point in time. I know I didn't play with a guy, but I knew a guy that played. And he loved teammate over Kobe. So, Shaquille O'Neal, people, he got to be somewhere in the record books. Dirk Nowitzki and young Dirk Nowitzki, y'all be calling him the greatest shooter of all time. Larry Bird, y'all be calling him the greatest shooter of all time. Stojakovic in this era, Hedo Turkoglu in this era, they would thrive in this era, man. Charles Barkley would thrive in this era. There's so many players that would thrive in this era. You talking about the big fellas, Patrick Ewing, Hakeem Olajuwon, they don't need to take threes. Young Tim Duncan, but out the guys that I seen score, just vividly, just being able to score, it's hard because I seen a lot of ones. Pete Maravich can fucking score. Nate Tiny Archibald can score. Adrian Dantley can score. You need a bucket, you call 1-800 Adrian Dantley. He can score. It's just so many great players over the course of time. But, you asked me to say, just without looking at the statistics, who was the guys that my favorite guys to score the basketball? Kobe Bryant, no particular order. Michael Jordan easily. Kevin Durant, LeBron James, scoring that rock. And it was Tracy McGrady, man. Tracy McGrady. Woo. Vince Carter, man. Young Ray Allen. Y'all look at Ray Allen. He was doing all that. Young Ray Allen was banging. Kevin Garnett. He didn't really score. But he was just one of my favorite. Allen Iverson was another great scorer. People talk about efficiency, but who else was going to take a shot out there other than Aaron McKee for Allen Iverson? He was another phenomenal scorer. Then he was durable. He was playing 70-plus games a year. But those are guys that I like to score, that can really score. Nate Tiny Archibald, he really can get it. Another guy, people forget, Jamal Wilkes can really put the ball in the hole. Remember, Magic got all the acclaim for playing center when Kareem was out in their first finals. I think it was versus 76ers. Jamal Wilkes dropped like 40 points that game. Jamal Wilkes was another good one. Man, I'm just drawing a blank about some of the other guys that I like to see. This is personal favorite. I'm not saying the greatest. When I was growing up, when Jerry Stackhouse played for the Pistons, he used to set Piston records all the time. Jerry Stackhouse was another guy that I love to watch score. And I got a story about Jerry Stackhouse I'm going to tell in a minute. But yeah, I don't have no issue with Kendrick Perkins saying Kevin Durant, the greatest scorer, one of the greatest scorers of all time, or the greatest scorer. I don't have no problem with that. Some people can make a case for Wilt. Some people can make a case for Michael. If you ask me personally, I hated Michael Jordan. That's the thing about it, but when he retired, you had to respect that nigga game, bro. I hate LeBron James game. But when he retired, you got to respect, and I respect this game, but his fanboys, just like Jordan fanboys, just licking him like a Tootsie Roll, trying to get to the middle. But a lot of great scorers, man, that played through the NBA, man. But the ones that I thought and all these guys got on my fucking nerves at one point. But the guy that I thought just was that was it. Michael, man, Michael fucking Jordan. That's the guy. I used to hate Michael Jordan. It was to the point in the 90s where the Pistons weren't so good. In that era. And it was a few guys that I really loved in that era. It was 3 guys particularly, because I wasn't a Kobe fan like that yet. But he was cool. 3 guys in that era, I'm going to tell y'all who that I love. Kevin Garnett. I just drew it, but Kevin Garnett, Allen Iverson, what was the 2, and Reggie Miller. And Reggie used to go against Michael and the Bulls. I should root like hell for Reggie Miller. Reggie Miller, I wore 31 in my first organized, but I love me some Reggie Miller. Reggie Miller was in my top 10 favorite players of all. I love me some Reggie Miller, man. He used to get Michael hell. But Michael Jordan, what's that song by Gucci Mane? Man, he was the shit. Michael Jordan was the shit. And he was just phenomenal, bro. It was like, Jesus walking on water watching him play. When I was a kid, man, I used to root for Karl Malone and John Stockton. I don't even like Utah. When I was a kid, he was just unbeatable. He was like Wayne Gretzky in basketball, maybe a little bit better. But Michael, the game on the line and civilization is on the line. Michael Jordan can be 100 years old. I'm giving the rock to Michael. When you need a bucket, I'm for sure Michael gonna get it. No matter if it's finishing through contact, the last 2 or 3 free throws, dunking, shooting 3, Michael. I seen it with my own eyes. I was there with my own eyes. Michael. This is not exaggeration. I was not a huge Michael fan, and it's Michael. Michael. Love Durant the death. He might be the next best thing. Michael. Michael was that cold. Michael was he was cold blooded. He used to, man, you might, when he put the ball up for the game winner, you just walk out the house. Remember he did it versus Brian. He did that. I was watching it with the Church Brothers at the time, and we would do get-togethers, with either at the Church Brother house. And we was at, I forget which Church Brother house we was at, and we was there, and then the brothers would take me back home. We wasn't at the pad. We was at somebody's house. We wasn't even at Thomas' house, but we was somebody's house. And he pushed off Byron Russell, whatever the dude's name is, to win his last title, and he shot that. I was just like, that nigga made that. He made that. There was no doubt in my mind when he did. Like, you had to see it to believe it. I was like, he made that. God damn it. Because Detroit don't like, especially in that era, Detroit didn't like Michael. I'm from Detroit because of the whole bad boy thing and the Olympic thing. But when he retired, Michael, but I had a story about Jerry. I had an autograph by him. This is some funny shit, right? I don't think I told this story. I had an autograph by him. It might still be in my storage. He was trying to hit on my mom at a Home Depot subsidiary. It was called Expo Design Center. She ended up getting an autograph, baseball autograph. I had a lot of autographs. But yeah, that shit was crazy. I still got that shit. And I think I got Juan Gonzalez when the Tigers stunk in the 90s. Whew, Bad. You can hit a home run. They can hit a home run. Nobody beat her. You can run to the other side of the stadium and get the ball. Bullshit, you not. That was at Tiger Stadium. That was before Comerica was anything. But yeah, appreciate everybody for tapping in. Check out the NBA Talk playlist. Don't forget we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can reach out if you have a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video request. Keep sharing the videos. Want to make a donation to the channel? Cash App CJ Good 313. That's in the description. PayPal link there as well too. And other than that, best way to donate, hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. Let me know what you guys think about the video. Check out the NBA Talk playlist. We go.